Okay, welcome back. So, got the parts. All the parts have come. So it's time to get the gearbox back together. I have to admit, it's a bit daunting. There's an awful lot of parts on the table, and gearboxes aren't my forte. So I'm going to be learning a lot of this as we go. So there'll be some probably time lapse with a few jump-ins, I think, because I need to try and concentrate on what I'm doing rather than filming. But I'll go through it with you as I've done it. I might have to use YouTube myself to just work a couple of these things out, but it looks fairly straightforward, but that's easier said than done, isn't it? So let's get it back together then. Okay, just a little update. While I'm messing around, I did get a couple of bits for the engine just to finish it off. One is this little note thing just here. That's the original badge, but mine had, I'll show you mine. I would show you mine. There it is. Mine doesn't have any writing left on it, so I thought I'd do the right thing and just stick a new one on, just finishes it off. I'm also just putting the oil in the engine, getting it up to the right level, and then I'll spin it over by hand to get the oil pump to circulate the oil, make sure all that's okay, and check for leaks really more than anything before it goes back in the engine. I know obviously it's spinning over slowly versus fast is going to make a difference for the oil being flung around the engine, but I'd rather have a bit of prior knowledge, that's all. So once I've done this, I'm going to start on this gearbox, which was the idea of this video anyway. Right, quick update. What have I learned? Get somebody else to do it. It's a pain in the arse. There's obviously so many tools that you need that are specific to the gearbox. I've managed to do it, and that's the new bearing in. Turns out that my shaft wasn't quite as good as I thought it was at first. It's all worn. I don't know whether you can see that. It's difficult for it to come out on the camera, but it's actually worn on the spline just here. So I've used the one off the donor gearbox, which is actually not too bad. It's certainly in better condition than the one I've got. So we're getting there. Now that's in, the rest of it should be, he says, fairly straightforward. Obviously you saw me using one of these to tap the brace in. That's this one. This is the knackered one. As you can probably see, all the gears are knackered up. There's the good one. So we'll get that back together now. Right, okay. So this is possibly the worst job I've ever had to do on one of these classic cars. An absolute nightmare. I've had the gearbox apart and together and apart and together and apart and together and apart and together. And the Haynes manual, what a waste of time. But anyway, it's all together now. It's spinning as it's supposed to. Now you can't see time lapse, obviously. I haven't had time to film it properly. But now we've got to try and put it back together with the back case now. So that's the next step. I just thought I'd give you an infill while I'm changing the battery. Okay, just before the battery on the camera goes flat, I'll give you a quick show. That was a pain in the arse. And if you are if you have very little mechanical skills, I wouldn't even attempt it because it was tough. But it's back together. It's a pig to put back together. I think if you have the right tools and the right setup and more room than I've got, then it'd probably be an easy job for somebody that knows what they're doing. But that was tough. Anyway, it's back together. It seems to be running properly. Next step is going to be to clean it and give it a quick coat of paint. So that'll be the next part. Okay, finished. I'll give you a quick look. Now, obviously it's still wet, so it's really, really glossy. It does dry to this. Although on the camera it does seem to come out really green, and it's not that green. It's not as green as it looks on the camera, put it that way. Anyway, so all done. I have got some new bits for it. I spray painted the starter motor cap, new gaiters, stuff like that, but they obviously can't go on until the paint's dried. So I've got a couple of jobs to do that I was supposed to do this morning and I still haven't done because this has taken a lot longer than I expected. 8 hours, in fact. 8 hours to put this thing back together. What a pain in the bum. Still, at least it's done now. That's the main thing, and hopefully it'll work when it goes back in the car, because if it keeps skipping out of fourth gear, don't know. Really don't know what it could be, because everything that it could have been has been changed, so who knows. So next thing, once the paint has dried, I'll be cleaning the clutch plate up, the flywheel, the engine will come off the stand. I think I'll probably put all the flywheel and everything back on and make the two back together, and then I've got to clear a load of shit out in here, and then I'll sit them on axle stands like I did with the midget engine until it's ready to go back in the car. And I did get a new radiator, by the way, for all those that may panic about the state of the radiator. I've got one. It's brand new. It's sat in the house ready to go on. So yeah, we're all good. I think the next stage will be, like I say, put the two together, stick it on axle stands, and then hopefully I'm going to get Dave over here, and he's going to do some welding. So that'll be an interesting video. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you liked, give us a like. If you like, give us a like. Makes sense, doesn't it? And you know, subscribe if you want to carry on watching what we do for a bit of bants or fun. Yeah, thanks very much. See you in the next one.